Hello everybody. Today I wanted to do a review of a slightly different type of organizer to the ones you're probably used to seeing me do. But I have been seeing a lot of rave reviews online for this product, the Orbitkey Nest. And I noticed that in many cases the reviewer has been sent the product free. They provide an affiliate link for the buyers and they often offer a discount coupon. The reviews are breathless and superficial and overlook some of the obvious issues there are with this product. Now, I don't want to suggest that all of these influencers and other reviews are lying, and some did have criticisms of the product, but in many cases they seem to have toned down anything negative, which is obvious as this is how they make their living. If they stop praising products, manufacturers stop sending items to them for review. And the product was, in my mind, really being overhyped. I wanted to have a look at it and try to present a more balanced review, as to my mind it does not live up to the hype, and I want to present you with a warts and all overview so that at least you have the information you need to make an informed choice about whether to buy this or not. Now let's start with the buying process, or the online buying process I should say, and the barriers that Orbitkey place in your way to get hold of one of these. If you're in North America or some Asian countries, you won't have noticed a thing, no problem. Otherwise, beware. If you have ordered directly from Orbitkey, you need to make sure that you use the correct site for the order. And if you've picked up a discount coupon, be aware that it will only work on one of their sites. So I tried first of all the .com site because that's the only one I knew of. And this states all over the place, and I insert at this point a screen grab to show you this. That they deliver worldwide, and I quote, "We are currently delivering worldwide." This is a lie, or it's bad English. I got very far into the order process, and it was only when I was completing the purchase and I tried to enter my address that I found that my country, Germany, is not on the list of destinations for delivery. So I had to dig very far into various contradictory help FAQs to find out that there was a .nl site. So I went there and repeated the order. But the discount code I had did work on the .com site, but did not work on the .nl site. I contacted their .com customer support, and this is one of those cases where they just don't read the message correctly and they imagine questions are being asked when there aren't any. So I didn't actually ask them any questions. I made two suggestions to them. I suggested that it would be more customer friendly to make it clear on the website right from the start that they only deliver to various countries from that website, and to provide the URLs for alternative sites for visitors from other countries to use. Their response was, "You need to use the .eu website to order from Europe." Yes, not what I asked actually, and it's too little too late. They did say in their response they have 4 websites to cover the world, but they don't mention the other 2. Seems to be some sort of trade secret. I mean, obviously they don't want to sell their products, which is maybe why the price is so high. Anyway, I also suggested to them that they ask their influencers to make clear that the discount codes are only valid on one of their websites. So the code I had was only valid on the .com website. Their response, "Our discount codes are only valid on one website." As so often, they just repeat the comment back to the customer. I think they're all trained as politicians. I'm too old, I'm too curmudgeonly to try and get them to actually read what I wrote. I just can't be bothered anymore with situations like this. So I vote with my wallet, and I shan't be ordering from them again. I should say I had no problems at all with the Dutch supplier, who are independent resellers. Okay, back to the product. I was interested in this product because I was looking for a way of keeping various items which tend to float around in my messenger bag together and make them more portable, and at the same time to get the inbuilt wireless recharger, which is here, for which I don't have a use, but which I would like to use when I am forced to update my phone, which is a completely different issue, which I won't bother making a video about because I don't want to bore you. But anyway, so some reviewers will start by telling you how nice the box was it came in. You know, My interest in packaging is only that it is environmentally responsible and that it protects the product during transit. That's it. Otherwise, I don't care. I don't understand how people get excited. I don't understand people, but I don't understand how people get excited about how the box looks when it's going to be quickly discarded anyway. In this case, I will say the box it came in was made of cardboard, so it is recyclable. And it's a little too shiny and high quality for my liking, but it's generally environmentally responsible, so that's a positive point. Okay, the product. Let's look at it, see what it does, and see how accurate these influences are being. This one is grey, as you can see. It also comes in a black. First, its dimensions is 24 centimeters broad, 12 centimeters high, 4.2 centimeters thick, and when empty it weighs 375 grams, but it costs an eye-watering 110 euros. The Orbitkey Nest is basically a box. The websites and some reviews say that this top is leather. If it is, I'm really losing my touch. As you guys know, I use and review a lot of leather products, and I like to think I can recognize leather when I see it, but this top feels like plastic. It has no leather smell. At best, it feels like faux leather. Even if it is real leather, there's no give to it. There's no give to it. You can't put your finger in it. It's just solid. If it is leather, it's a very, very thin layer. And you know, if it doesn't smell like leather, if it smells like plastic, if it looks like plastic, if it feels like plastic, why use leather? If you're going to use leather, make it like leather. I think this is, I don't know, it's cheap. For a product like this, it just feels really cheap. This bottom part appears to be covered with some sort of man-made textile. There's a button at the front, which I at first thought you had to press to open the box, but you don't. In fact, it's just to loop the elastic over to keep it closed. And there's a hinge arrangement at the back, which I'll explain because there's a problem with this. And there's the USB-C port, which charges or powers the charger, the QI charger, which is at this point here. It has an elastic closure. You guys know, if you are subscribers, you know I hate elastic. I think anything that contains elastic like this automatically demotes itself from the luxurious to the mundane. This opens to show various organizational options inside. There is a lot of Velcro used in this product. You can see Velcro here. And I have the same feelings about Velcro as I have about elastic. So this doesn't shout luxury to me. Let's look at each part in turn. It is presented as being a high quality piece of design wear, sleek, minimalistic, modern. Guys, it's a box. Taste is very personal. I think most people regard their desks as places to get things done, rather than places to look like a design shop, although obviously there are people who do that. But I just don't see anything special in this design. So the top on the left is the wireless charger and the USB-C port to plug it in. And you can lay your phone or whatever here to charge it up. It comes with a USB-C to A cable, charging cable, which is 1 meter long. I can't test this because I don't have currently have any products that charge this way. If you read some reviews online, this is not as reliable as people would like. I have no experience in this, so I'm not going to comment on that. The rest of the top of the tray is a valet tray or caddy. It's this slight impression here. And other reviews show people carefully, so they come to work, presumably this is on their desk, and they shows people carefully placing their items here. You know, like this is what you would do when you come into the office. You take things out of your pocket and you'd carefully place them here. And oh, doesn't it look gorgeous? In my experience in working in offices, if people do something, put something on their desk, they fling it onto it. And they can fling it anywhere. This doesn't have to be here. This could just as easily be here. Why would it need to be on the caddy? Whatever. Regardless, anything that you place here would have to be removed if you wanted to get anything out of the box. So yes, you could use it as a shelf if you want to. I don't see that as being an advantage. The only thing I can see this as being is if you put everything that was in your pockets here, at the end of the day, you know that this is where you have to find everything, and everything here has to be taken away with you. That I get. Otherwise, yeah, if you're so disorganized that you can't work out, you need to take your wallet with you. You know, what can I say? Anyway, what you can do here, of course, is you can store things underneath this elastic and take them with you. For example, I'm going to have to ungrab one now. So you can, for example, store a notebook underneath here, or anything else that's flat for that matter. But everybody uses a notebook as an example, so shall I. I'd probably prefer to leave a notebook inside or whatever, but anyway, this is a possibility. Fair enough. The elastic closure has a little tab to allow it to be easily hooked and unhooked. Now the hinge arrangement at the back is where there are some quality issues. Unfortunately, it's made in China, and it doesn't say that on the product. It does say that on the box that it comes in. I say unfortunately because I try to avoid buying items that come from certain countries for political and environmental reasons, and also non-local manufacture can lead to quality issues. In this case, the Velcro on this elastic on this hinge is holding on by the skin of its teeth. I don't know if you can let me put it in the right place. This is holding on by 2 or 3 hooks. It's already popped open once. It will take very little effort at all here to open that up. It's really very weakly, very poorly done. I think I'm going to have to dust off my sewing machine and remake this hinge, because that's really poor. I mean, it's holding now, and when you close the item, it's pushed against the side here, which I'll show you in a minute. So it's not going to pop over when the elastic is closed. But this is really not well done. And I've seen occasionally that this elastic here will pop out of this hook here. I just pushed that out just to show you, but it's happened several times to me. So you have to rehook this back on. So this is unhooked. You have to rehook this back on, and then if you close this again, that's no problem. The Velcro is no problem here, of course, because it's closed. It's pushed against the edge. But if that's open, that Velcro closure is very weak and very poorly made, and not what you expect from an item that costs this much money. And not a single review that I have seen has mentioned this problem. This elastic also doubles as a pen loop. Takes pens of any sized, gushed an influencer I saw yesterday with 5.8 million subscribers. Of course, that's not true. People's gullibility never ceases to amaze me. There is an issue here that no other reviews that I have found have mentioned. Let's have a look. Let's try and get a pen in here. So you guys, you know, and we use pens and we use papers a lot. a lot of people who are using this product probably don't, but I'm going to try and get a pen in here, right, with one hand. I can't get the pen in here because these two plastic hooks are stopping me, and the shininess of the pen is stopping me getting the. I can't do that. I can't do that. A pen like this, not a chance. Yes, I could pull this. I can pull this out. I can pull this elastic out like this and push it in that way. This is a 1.4 centimeter diameter pen. Not the biggest pen you'll find, but pretty large. But this, I have to really force that elastic open to get that in. So this is absolute limit in size. If you have a bigger pen, I wouldn't even try to do it. So the idea, and I can see that this is really stressing this Velcro closure here. This is almost ready to pop. So when they say takes any pen, what they mean is takes any narrow pen with a torpedo shape, so that you can actually insert it into this elastic like this. That's fine. That works. But if you have any other shaped pen, forget it. This is a very obvious fault. Surprising to me that nobody has seen it or has seen fit to mention it. Okay, about the best thing you can say about this pen loop is when the box is open, you don't lose any tension on it, so it still holds the pencil in place, the pen in place, when the box is open. Which I've just emptied the whole thing out. Never mind, we'll get back to that later. Now I'm going to have to try and put this back. Okay, opening the box is the cleverest part of the product. It takes a little bit of practice because, as I said, I was trying to push this thing in. But if you take the elastic off and you turn this over its hinge, like this, then no, this is not sitting correctly. If you if you turn it over its hinge, then it opens like a book, and the hinge stays in place. So you can open it up and close this. Yep, there we go. You see, I'm going to have to reattach it because of what I was doing with the pens. This is just not happy at the moment. Let's see if I can. Okay, there we go. That's better. So we have, if you just open it at its hinge at the book here, at its hinge, you get a book-like opening, and then you can just close it like this. If you lift it straight up, and again, this is not sitting correctly as it should do. If you lift it straight up, it comes off completely, so that you can use these two halves separately, and then put them together again, and then you can hinge. You can hinge this way. You see, it's not really happy. It's there we go. It makes it a bit easier to show. Now in the lid, let's have a look at the lid. In the lid there are sets of pockets for cards, pills, SD cards, USB sticks and so on. Things that those of us who use a leather organizer like a Filofax would normally keep in the pockets of our organizer covers. So there's an elasticated net here, which is 6.5 centimeters deep. There are card pockets. Here's a card pocket, and here, which are 5.5 centimeters deep. There's a wider one, 7 centimeters deep. There's another one, which is almost 10 centimeters deep. Then there are smaller pockets, for example, for SD cards, like here, or SIM cards. You need to be aware that there's a smaller one here too. You need to be aware that anything you add to the lid which adds bulk, will reduce the amount of space you have in the bottom for adding items. So there is a finite amount of space here, and that cannot be changed. This base is designed for larger items in a single layer system, and it contains a series of plastic spacers which can be velcroed onto the base to keep items in place. And there's a couple of velcro cable ties which are provided as well. The plastic spacers won't stop items rattling about, but they do keep items in place. The box is clearly aimed at people to store various computer bits and bobs. These things are often called tech cases or tech pouches. So people might keep their Apple EarPods or power banks or adapter plugs or connector wires and so on. One of the selling items is that when everything is in place, you can easily see when something is missing because there'll be a gap. So let me just try and put back all of these things that I threw out earlier. There we go. So something like this. If I had something like this here, you would immediately see, I'm missing something. I need something. I got something I have to take with me, so I can grab it and put it in and take it away. Of course, for those of us who have more prosaic and mundane requirements, we're going to have a tendency to throw things in, you know. There we go. And then the advantage of being able to see a gap isn't there anymore. So if you've just got 6 or 7 equally sized dongles or computer items, fine. Otherwise, it's just going to end up like a box with some dividers. The advantage of the box being solid, which protects your items, is also a disadvantage. A lot of space is wasted between and above the items, which you cannot win back if you had a holder in a squashier material. Equally, if you put anything in here which is slightly larger than it needs to be, than it can be, for example, here my eye drops, I can no longer close this because it is just a couple of millimeters too big for the box, and that's it. You can't, if you had a leather holder, you could squash everything into place and the leather would give, and this wouldn't be a problem. So you are limited with what you can take, and the actual physics, the way that the space is used, I think is extremely wasteful. You can use this on the move, though it seems awkward to me. Let me try this. Now let me tell you why I have a problem with this. Let's see if I can close this properly to be fair. You could take this from the desk to your home and from your desk to your hotel room. But if you're opening and searching for something on the move, in the supermarket or on the station concourse or the bicycle racks or something, it's much more challenging. Now, I note that I'm right-handed. If I was going to open this on the run, I would take it in my left hand so that I could open this in my right, because this catches on the right-hand side anyway. And then when I swing this around, that's great, except all of these pockets are upside down. Now, giving the possibility that this stuff is going to fall out. You can hold it the other way if you want that not to be the problem. You can hold it this way, but then to undo it, I have to take my hand across, my right hand across from this side because I'm right-handed, and open it this way. And then I have to open it this way so that these are the right way around. It's perfect for left-handed people, and that's it. So I think this is a design weakness. I think these pockets should be realigned, or the cat should be reversed. this is this is also much more sensible to have them, some of them, horizontal rather than vertical when the item is standing like this. Yeah, it's another weakness. It's yet another weakness. Listen, obviously everybody has different tastes and requirements, and if people love this product and it suits their needs, that's absolutely great. But I just wanted to provide a balance to the more gushing and potentially manipulated reviews out there. Would I buy this again? No. Will I use it? Well, I may sit it on my desk and I may throw some stuff into it, and I may use the charger if that becomes an issue. But it's too inflexible, it's too inefficient in terms of storage options, and it's too heavy to want to take with me. You know, this reminds me of nothing other than a sandwich box. And let me be harsh, you could buy a wireless charger for about 20 euros. And there are a lot of good looking sandwich boxes around with proper closures and even internal dividers for 20 or 25 euros. Is this design worth the extra 70 euros that it costs to buy? In my opinion, absolutely not. It also has far too many quality and design flaws. People may buy this and think, oh, it's a great little fun gadget to have, but this doesn't have the added value that many influencers would have you think. I think it's not as well thought out as it could have been, as we've seen already from the alignments of the pockets and the hinge. The pen loop as the hinge as a pen loop. It really could have been done much better. I know it's not as well made as it should be for that price. I mean, 110 euros, come on. I know many people rave about this, and if this is what you're looking for, that's great. Me, I'll be looking elsewhere for a solution for moving stuff between desk and home, etc. I hope you found that useful. This has been a little side trip for me to other elements of stationery, but I'm sure you'll let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll be back another time, maybe with another Filofax review, so you won't have to watch me complaining about this again. See you again next time.